in the quiet of the morning calm, where the sun rises at the dawn, and the birds sing their waking song, there's a story to be told. So if you hear a teller telling you a tangled tale, or maybe two, rest assured, every word is true, especially the bits they make up.
At Canadian Tire, we're here for all-day summer play. From the yard to the park, find all the games you need for non-stop family fun.
Everything has brought her to this moment. She inches closer to the edge and summons the courage to leap. Because she knows the only way out is across when the floor is lava. Every big moment starts small.
It starts with a spark and becomes a beacon, lighting the way. When the games are gone, the games go on. Turn up, take part. Orange Store, fuel the spirit.
Recycling sounds good on its own, but when it's done right, it's even more rewarding. And with Green Depot's express service, there's no waiting. Just drop and go. Who wouldn't love the sound of that? Visit greendepotnl.ca to learn more.
A strong performer uses power wisely. The Toyota BZ4X is the official electric vehicle of the 2025 Canada Games. See our full electrified lineup at shoptoyota.ca.
Today we're watching the solo free preliminary event, so we're going to be expecting 6 hybrids from the athlete competing today, as well as some transitional movements, which can include some hybrid-like movements with their legs or with their arms, and really expressive movements. Our first athlete will be beginning with a T9B, which is the highest level of thrust that you can execute. She needs to thrust to above waist level and catch above knees. Very well done. Now she's performing an A8. She'll notice she's off balance holding for at least 3 seconds. And now we're seeing a straight A7 and a couple night movements, some F8s and some F5s. Beginning another A7, holding lovely height, and followed by a 2-direction rotation. Let's see another night sequence here, going back and forth with the F4s and the F5s. You see the movement back and forth. Some lovely expressive transitions to go with her music. And another night sequence, holding lovely height above the knee. And an excellent A7, followed by a spin, the first one we've seen from her today. Some lovely expression in her transitions. And another night sequence you're seeing here. And a great hold for her A7 there above the kneecaps. be entering her 5th hybrid next with an A5. She has 360 rotation starting from the pike position, lifting all the way up to the vertical position. That adds a little bit of creativity in there with the cross legs. And followed by another thrust. That is a T6A with flexibility and a rotation of 360 degrees. And here she goes, entering her last hybrid of the swim. Continuing to have excellent height as she does another A7. And we'll see her finish off with an A4B.
Congratulations to
Yeah, she had an excellent performance today. Her height was lovely. You can see here in her A8 from that first hybrid and the A7, holding a nice mid-thigh vertical position, which is really fantastic. Yeah, she'll be hopping out now and just waiting for the scores with her coaches to celebrate. Yeah, she received her full difficulty of 43.2, so she should be super happy. And with a total score of 358.1905.
Qui s'amène à la piscine.
And Abigail will be starting off with a T8 in this first hybrid, just a thrust with flexibility followed by a 720 spin. Well done, she made her full 720 rotation around. We're seeing a couple night movements in this performance as well. And a lovely spin down in S2, completing the full 720. Entering her next hybrid here with an F9. And we see there an RC1 beginning in the split position, doing a full 360 rotation to close, and following up with another T8, which is the thrust with flexibility, followed by a spin 720. And some transitions here, which are lovely on the music as the music builds. Seeing a single leg rotation of 360 degrees as she lifts up to the position. And another RC1 there. Now she'll be holding this position for 3 seconds or more to achieve the A6. Lovely job. And another RC1, very well done to end off that hybrid. With some beautiful arms performing. Now is another thrust element, the T6C, which is the flying fish 360 or helicopter 360. You see the fishtail leg. Ending off that hybrid with an S1 of a spin 360. And here she goes for her last hybrid. See another RC1 and ending with a walkover from her split position to breath. Beautiful finish.
Let's hear it for Abigail Porter from Team Newfoundland and Labrador, coached by Tyler French and Shannon Driscoll.
was a great performance. She did an excellent job with all of her difficulty. There's a lot of challenging movements in there, including the T8 that we just saw. We saw a number of RC1s as well, which she executed lovely. A couple thrust elements in there, which were very nice. Just want to make sure you're getting the full declared amounts around on all of those rotations. And a great finish there with her F2A. She achieved her full declared difficulty, which is excellent again.
Déjà sur cette marche, il nous donne une bonne idée de l'attitude qu'elle empruntera dans sa performance.
We're starting off with an F9 from the arch position. She rotated up to the vertical position, doing a 180 rotation. There's another T9B. Really want to make sure the catch is above the kneecap there. Here we see an A8, the unbalanced hold. Very nice height. And a couple F10s, which are the highest level of flexibility you can do. It starts in a arch position and then a full 360-degree rotation all the way up to the vertical. Lillian's a very expressive swimmer in her transitions. You'll see her facial expressions are lovely. Great height on that hold before that spin down. And here we have another T9B, followed by the two-direction rotation. And she enters her next hybrid very quickly. We're seeing a couple RC1s in this one as well, the split 360 rotation, and two A8s here. Very nice positioning on that unbalanced. You have to be around 15 to 30 degrees off of the vertical line. Here's another one to look at to achieve that A8, which is it's the most difficult airborne weight that you can declare in a routine. Displaying some lovely flexibility on the transitions as well. She enters her second last hybrid, maintaining good height into the end here as she reaches towards the end of the routine, still achieving her mid-thigh. Very great job. And this is her final hybrid, another A8, very challenging, followed up with a couple night positions. And an excellent finish from Lillian, a very expressive routine. So we see lots of fantastic height in this performance. She's achieving a mid-thigh in majority of her holds. There we see her T9B again. That might be looked at again by the technical controllers just to ensure that she held above knees for a full second following the thrust. We saw some really lovely expressive arms in this routine as well in her transitions, showing her theme very well. And here she is. Yeah, I think she's pretty happy with it. The tech controllers might be taking a look, which might have her feeling a little bit nervous, but that's just for them to ensure that all of the difficulty was achieved before they give out the scores for the performance. So in this routine, she did have a base mark, so her declared difficulty dropped down to a 30.8. That might be because of the T9 that I mentioned before, but we're not sure. Her overall combined score is a 360, which is still a fantastic job. And she achieved a 148.678 in that routine as her overall score. So Cameron will be starting off her routine with a F9, which is the second highest flexibility movement you can execute. She'll start in an arch position, do a 180 rotation up to a vertical, and here she goes. Lovely. She did even extra, which you can do. Now she's doing an A7, great, showing above kneecaps. A couple night movements in here as well. She's going to end off with the F2A walk out to breath from her split position. Has some beautiful artistic impression in this routine with her transitions. You're seeing an S2 there from her, 2 spins down before her toes go underwater. And here's another A7, really great above knees. Nice expression in this routine, showing different facial expressions that go with the music. Here she's doing a T8, a thrust with a 720 rotation, followed by an A3B there, where you have to rise and you must get all the way above your kneecap at least. She did an excellent job and came all the way up to at least high thigh. She's doing another F9 here, same as she did in that first hybrid. Very lovely job, followed by an S2, another 720 spin. A couple night rotations in this hybrid as well, so you'll see our nights above the kneecap with your back leg out the back behind you and your top leg reaching up to the ceiling with a full rotation around after. And here she does another T8. A very challenging thrust, followed by an off-balance rotation. That's the first one we've seen today from Cameron. That was lovely. It's an RU2, a rotation unbalanced for 720. Here she goes for her last hybrid, starting with an A8, the very challenging off-balance hold for 3 seconds. Sure that we're completing all of the rotations into the end there.
Congratulations to Cameron Darcy from Team Brunswick, coached by Julie McFarland and Allie Marcheston-McGuire.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful routine. She's a very expressive swimmer. I saw her technical solo earlier this week, and she had a lovely performance. She's a very expressive swimmer, which makes her a joy to watch. And here we see some of her hybrids, the A7s with her lovely height that I mentioned before, a couple of the very challenging movements that they incorporated into this routine so that she could achieve a good difficulty score. She has a 38.1 declared. We will see how she does in the results. Oh, and here we have them. An excellent performance. Oh no, these are the scores from the athlete before. It looks like they might still be reviewing, which is just to confirm that the technical controllers have ensured that the athlete has performed all of their declared difficulty as declared by the coaches. It's very important for their scores. So an excellent performance by Cameron. She achieved a 32.15 difficulty out of her 38.1, so just one base mark there, with an overall score in the free preliminary of 138.19 and an overall score of 306.7983. A great spot to be in going into the finals.
Veuillez accueillir la concurrente numéro 5. Please welcome competitor number 5 from Team Ontario, Kaylin Greensmith.
So with Kaylin, we're seeing a lot of rotations. We're seeing a lot of spins in this first hybrid. She has a S3 and an S2 declared, so let's look out for those. Here she goes. Lovely free spins. And another spin on the thrust, so she does a barracuda followed by a spin, set 180. We have lots of flexibility movements in this hybrid as well. The F9 followed by 2 F8s. We see another F9 there, so from her arch going all the way up to the vertical position. And an unbalanced hold here, the A8 holding for 3 seconds or more in the unbalanced position, around 15 to 30 degrees off the surface. Wow, some really creative transitions from Kaylin. And here she has the T9B, the thrust to above waist and then holding above knees for at least 1 second. So lots of rotations in here, lots of unbalanced rotations as well. Here we have an A6 with some nice creativity for our artistic impression score. Carrying the theme along in her transitions as well. We see some RC1s. These are the first ones she's performed today. Really lovely flexibility position followed up by the 360-degree rotation to the vertical. And she's entering her 5th hybrid here with an A5. Seeing some night positions here, some flexibility, and followed by another RU2, the unbalanced rotations. Her final hybrid, beginning with the F9 from her arch all the way up to the vertical. And we're gonna see some more rotations in here as well. And a lovely finish with the F9 on the end there as well, all the way up to vertical position before crashing out.
Team Ontario, coached by Emily and Courtney Giroux.
Yes, I think she should be really happy with that performance. There's a lot of challenging movements in there and she executed them quite well. We'll see here the A8 from her first hybrid. Lovely height and positioning followed up by some rotations. She does a good job of maintaining above kneecap in many of these movements and showing good rotations being finished all the way around. So the tech controllers will be looking for her legs to start the rotation in one position and also end the rotation facing the same wall to ensure that she finished them. And it looks like it's her birthday. Wow. Yeah, it looks like we have the scores. We just
For those who don't know, it's Kaylin's birthday today. Happy birthday, Monfay! And on that note, here are the marks for competitor number 5, declared an actual
What a fantastic birthday gift. Full difficulty, 49.65. Landing her in first place right now with a 186.1275 in this event and a 396 overall score. Fantastic job, Kaylin, and happy birthday.
From Team Saskatchewan, Morgan Vaughn.
We're going to see another F9 to start this one off, which is a common movement. Starting in the arch all the way up to the vertical position, lovely height. And here we're going to see another T9B. Lovely. Did a fantastic job catching that well above knees at her mid-thigh height. She's got lots of difficulty packed into here, some really fast movements. And some fun transitions to go with her theme. Seeing a T8 there, the thrust with flexibility followed by a full 720 spin, and A7 here holding at a solid mid to high thigh, really excellent job, and followed by an A8 with the same level of height. Morgan's got lots of energy today. You can see her performance shining through. Seeing a spin down from her there, an S3, which is a full 1080 spin. Toes. We're seeing another A7, really excellent height, followed up by two RD1s, which are two direction rotations, going a full 180 one way and then a full 180 back. Some different facial expressions in here too to enhance her performance scores. We're seeing a couple night positions there from her at the beginning of this hybrid and another one in there. Performance with the different facial expressions and movements. A few more nights in here as well. She's holding a nice mid-thigh height in those positions as well, which is excellent, and showing nice execution of her night positions, very clear in all of her movements. Here she is. She's going to enter her last hybrid with another F9, the 180 rotation from the arch. She is still maintaining a really great height here, staying above knees all the way until the very end of her routine.
Warming up and snap and Morgan Vaughn from Team Saskatchewan, coached by Claudia Hosner and Allison McKinney.
There's an excellent performance from Morgan today. She was very expressive throughout, so her performance scores should be reflecting that. And she had amazing height throughout the entire routine. Starting off, you're seeing those A7s and A8s at a mid to high thigh. And lovely job on all of her rotations being very clear. Here we see a couple T8s. Clearly finishing her 720 rotation before her toes go underwater, which the tech controllers will be looking for to ensure she completes. Here we see her great facial expressions again. The performance is really important, especially in the free event. They all look really happy. The coaches look super
Les notes pour
happy.
la concurrente numéro
Here we have
6, marks for competitor number 6, declared an actual difficulty 48.50.
difficulty of 48.58, and she's moved up into first
Artistic
place.
impression 85.5000 for a routine score of 195.8642
in this event, and the final total of 397.76 overall. Lots of emotions.
Veuillez accueillir la concurrente numéro 7. Please welcome competitor number 7 from Team Manitoba, Emma Gabay.
So Emma has some very challenging movements in her hybrid. She's going to start out with the T9B, which is the highest level of thrust. We'll see her thrust out to above waist and catch above knees for at least a second. Starting out with some nice transitions to express her theme. And here she goes for her first hybrid. Good catch for the second. Now we see an A8. The highest level of airborne weight that you can achieve. We're watching a combined spin right now, so that was an SC3. She has a couple combined spins in this routine. You do 3 spins down and then 3 spins up for the SC3. To start the next hybrid, she also has a very challenging movement, the F9, starting in the arch, lifting up to the vertical position, followed by another A8. Another spin down here in S3, a 1080 spin, followed by just a 360 on the spin up. This next hybrid is interesting. The only thing she's declared is an SC6. So we'll be looking for 6 rotations on the way down and 6 rotations on the way up and 6 rotations on the way down. Very well done, incorporating in some different movements with her feet as well for the artistic impression. Here we see an A7 holding nicely above the kneecaps and some good flexibility transitioning in there. Here we see another F9 with the 180 rotation, another A7, a good hold there. And a spin down of 1080 before the toes. Into her next one very quickly. It's a very challenging event as they move really quickly from hybrid to hybrid. They're finishing off with an RC1 full 360 rotation from the split position.
Congratulations to Emma Gabay from Team Manitoba, coached by Anastasia Petrenko and Team Chernow.
And she had some excellent transitions in there. They see them now. Very nice performance from her, portraying the music and her theme in her movements throughout the whole routine. We take a look back at her A8 here, holding nicely above knees. Really great height overall throughout the routine. She maintained a good level. You see again in the A7 there. And some really great flexibility as well, showing some nice close to flat splits in all of those movements. Here we see another A7 and some different movements with her feet to portray the theme and use some more movements to achieve a higher artistic impression score as well. So this routine did have one base mark, her actual difficulty being 22.5 from her 29.9 declared. Still a fantastic job, achieving an overall score of 298.6708 in the 2 events combined, the technical event and the free event that she just swam.
Veuillez accueillir la concurrente numéro 8. Please welcome competitor number 8 from Team Prince Edward Island, Adrian Scales.
We're seeing lots of F7s from Adrian, which is the arch position, lifting up to the vertical with no rotation. So similar to the F9s that we've been seeing, just a slightly lower difficulty as there's no rotation. She's gonna start off with one for her first hybrid, so let's take a look. She goes from the arch all the way up to the vertical, very well executed and a really nice height. Followed up by some night movements there, and here we see a S3, 3 spins before the toes go under, and a T8, this thrust with a 720 spin down. Lovely expressive arms from Adrian here as well to portray her music. Starting off this hybrid with a combined spin of 1080, so 3 spins down and 3 spins up on that one as well. Really lovely and a nice creative exit of that hybrid. Really great for her artistic impression component of her score. Now she's executing an A5, the 360 rotation from the pike position. Followed by another T8, very well done, and a few more night movements. We're seeing there an F8A, which is the night 360 as you join up to the vertical position. We're seeing an A8 unbalanced hold for at least 3 seconds, followed by 3 RC1s. Very well done, ending off with the F2A, the walk over to breath. This hybrid, this next one's gonna start off with 3 F7s. There she goes. Very well done and showing a very nice height, followed there by another F8A and 3 spins. And here she goes, setting up for a T8 again. Very nice job. Her last hybrid is just going to be a T8, so we'll take a look out for this. The thrust with flexibility, followed by a 720 spin. Very well done.
Give it up for Adrian Scales from Team Prince Edward Island, coached by Mary Beth McInnes.
This was a great performance from Adrian. Lots of very well executed movements. The F7s that I mentioned at the beginning of her routine, she performed very well. On that first T8, I believe she only did 1.5 rotations, so the tech controllers will likely be looking at that, and she may result in a base mark for that, as you have to complete the full 720-degree rotation, which is 2 spins before toes. But the tech controllers will take a look and see what they determine for that element. And the RC1s that she had in her 4th hybrid were also really well executed with really lovely split positions. The judges will look for how flat her splits are to determine what score they will give for those movements. And since she had a lot of them, that was really great choreography from her coach to highlight her strengths. It's definitely a challenging sport. You see the coach and athlete talking here about what was going on in the swim. It's like an out-of-body experience. Sometimes you just get in there and your muscle memory kicks in and takes over. And then after the swim, you have to review what you had done and what you had been able to perform and execute. I think the tech controllers are doing a little bit more of a review, which is always a little bit nerve-wracking as well, and that's where the mental component comes in, but Adrian looks all smiles with her coach here, which is excellent. And here we have her score. She did receive, it looks like 2 base marks, with her actual difficulty being a 22.8. Still a fantastic job achieving an overall combined score for her technical and free routines of a 261.3355. Well done, Adrian.
Maintenant, on s'en va tout à l'ouest.
Please welcome competitor number 9 from Tweed, British Columbia, Tegan Porter.
Tegan's going to start out with an A7 pretty early into her first hybrid here, followed right up with an A8. So we'll take a look and see at her height and her different positioning on those 2 movements. She'll need to hold them both for 3 seconds. So here we go for the A7, followed by the A8, the unbalanced hold. Very nice. Ending off with 2 F9 there as well, which are very challenging. The night 180 rotation up to the vertical, and she showed really great height in her vertical positions. Some really expressive arms in those transitions. Here's another A8. We're seeing an S2 now to set her up for her T8. She's going to do a thrust, flexibility followed by a 720, and now a T4E, which we haven't seen yet in this competition. That's a thrust followed by a 180 twirl and crash. Making sure that you have your hips starting at one wall and then completing the full 180 rotation before the crash is super important. Now she's into her 3rd hybrid here. Just saw her finishing off with the S1, a 360 degrees. She did the spin up. Nice transitions. The judges like to see creativity and different movements within them. Seeing lots of flexibility in that hybrid as well. Here we see another flexibility movement. That was the F6C, which she'll do another 2 in this next hybrid. We'll look again. It starts in the night position, and then you do a 180 rotation. There she just showed them. As you join a vertical, you execute the 180 rotation. Very lovely job on both of those. She has her last hybrid now. Started off with the A5 into a good vertical height. I'm going to try and see the kneecaps. There she goes. Very nice on that A8. The judges look for that when they're determining their scores for the overall execution.
Coached by Erin Williams and Hannah Proud.
That was a really well executed routine, and she also had some really nice transitions. You see here where she was displaying different movements, some things that the judges might not have seen before, which is really important for the artistic impression. There we saw the T4E again, which the tech controllers might take another look at to make sure she completed the full 180 rotation from wall to wall is really important. And here we see some more of her expressive arm movements. A really lovely job from Tegan. I think they all look pretty happy. I think the tech controllers might be taking a look at something, as we are just waiting a moment for the results to come through, which, like I mentioned, is always a little bit nerve-wracking. But sometimes when they're looking, it still means that they get their difficulty back. So I'll have a look here and see. So this routine did have one base mark with her declared difficulty dropping to a 35.35 with her actual difficulty. I think it was probably with the hybrid with the T4E, but still a strong overall score of 315.34 for her combined score between the technical and free solo programs.
Please welcome competitor number 10 from Team Ontario, Madison Murphy.
This routine has lots of creativity in it. This is Romeo and Juliet theme, so you can see if you can find that theme throughout the routine. We're starting off with some rotations here. The SC2, the combined spin, 2 spins down and 2 spins up. We just saw her execute really well. Here you see another rotation. This is the unbalanced rotation. That was an RU2. It's had a couple A8s in it as well. Very high difficulty. Some really expressive arms here to carry across her theme as well. Want to see holding above knees on the height as much as possible so the judges can give a little bit higher scores for the execution in there. Some really lovely performance in here. Nice movements with her legs in the transitions as well, which the judges look for her artistic impression. Good A8 holds with some creativity in there as well. She can get some artistic impression from her hybrids too. See some rotations in there as well as she finishes off that hybrid with an RC1. Here before toes before she performs a T8, which is another 2 spins in before toes after the thrust with flexibility. Lovely job. A couple nights to end off that hybrid as well. Really important to be above knees. Here she is in her second last hybrid. The single leg airborne wave, which we haven't seen too many of in this event, which is really nice to show some different creativity in there as well. Here she goes very quickly into that last hybrid. An A8 hold again. And finishing just as the music ended. Excellent job.
Give it up for Madison Murphy from Team Ontario, coached by Ying Li Wu and Courtney Duran.
You can see she had fantastic performance in portraying her theme with different facial expressions, and the music really carried through different faces and different expressions from the athlete, which was lovely to see from Madison. We see some more rotations. She's very clear with her execution of all those rotations, which is lovely. Like I mentioned before, she can keep working on her staying above knees in all of those positions for the judges' scores. That would be excellent. She was showing off her Team Ontario. A lovely performance, really great execution and expression throughout that routine.
Declared an actual difficulty, 48.90.
Did a fantastic job achieving her entire difficulty and putting her up into first place now. Her full 48.9 difficulty, achieving a total score of 401.59. The first athlete today to achieve over a 400 in their combined score. Excellent job, Madison.
We'll take a short break. Nous allons prendre une courte pause.
Également son équipe qui sont là, sont fiers, saluent tous les gens de l'Ontario qui nous nous écoutent.
Calling St. John's unique is like calling a humpback a goldfish. It's wildly different here.
Hello.
Hi, remember me? We bought your old house.
Yes.
We brought some mail.
Oh.
Hey.
The diaper subscription. I forgot to cancel it.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet the memories are coming back now. The Bebo app helps you keep an eye on where your money's going.
Like how?
Well, for one, it would have told you this subscription price had gone up multiple times.
It's a lot of diapers.
Well, extra's good. So where's the baby?
Oh, he's right here. This is the baby.
And that ain't no baby.
Hey, where could I find these shoes?
Heads up!
Whoa.
Keep up this back to school with Adidas at Sport Check.
It starts with a spark and becomes a beacon, lighting the way. When the games are gone, the games go on. Turn up. Take part. Orange Store. Fuel the spirit.
Atlantic Lottery is proud to sponsor important community initiatives like this year's Canada Games.
Deuxième activité la podium number 11. Please welcome competitor number 11 from Team British Columbia, Elizabeth Moore.
She's about to start off with a T8, a thrust followed by flexibility and a spin 720, very well executed. Here we have the A8, our highest level difficulty of an airborne weight, holding unbalanced for 3 seconds or more. She's going to end off with an F7, the surface arch lift up to a vertical position, really well done, an excellent height throughout that hybrid. Starting off with the A5, starting in the pike position, doing a full 360 rotation out to the vertical. And we see another A7 here. Really strong above knees. Very well done. Finishing off that hybrid with a S2, the 720 spin before toes go under. Nicely done. We see a couple of our knight positions. Another F8A. The knight, followed by a 360 rotation. Want to make sure all the rotations have hips, finishing all the way around at the very end to complete the full 360. Some nice ballet legs in her transitions as well. You see another F7 to start off that hybrid. A couple more knights, another F8A there. Ending this one with a T8 again. The flexibility with a spin 720. Very well done again. And here she goes for an A7. Making sure it's all the way above 3 seconds for those holds is really important. The tech controllers are watching and timing with a stopwatch, and they'll confirm with each other if it was long enough on the hold. You see another F7 there from the surface arch up to the vertical, and here she has another A7. Good. Ending off there with another F8A, making sure the rotations get all the way around. Finishing off strongly, great performance.
Let's hear it for Elizabeth Moore from Team British Columbia, coached by Erin Williams and Hannah Proud.
Yeah, she had a fantastic performance. A really nice execution, especially on these first couple of hybrids, showing excellent height. There we see it fully above knees, really clearly showing her performance and height for the execution judges. The execution judges give marks for all of the hybrids that the athletes perform, and then the artistic impression judges give marks for the overall artistic impression as well as the transitions. Yes, they definitely look a little bit nervous. She might have had a little bit of a fumble in the fourth hybrid there. She seemed to have a bit of a longer pause than is normally intended, and then continued on with the rest of her hybrid. But she might have had a little bit of a moment of forgetting something, but she did an excellent job continuing on. In the fifth and sixth hybrids, she executed very well. So the tech controllers are likely reviewing that to ensure that she executed everything that was declared, or if she forgot something, then that would be a base mark for that hybrid. So we'll see what they determine on this one. Yeah, it's a very emotional moment for the athletes as well, as they're waiting to hear their scores. They've trained very hard. Many of these athletes have been training for at least a year, some 2 years, to put together these routines for this competition. This is a big event in the artistic swimming community that we've been looking forward to for a couple of years now. So sitting here after the performance, waiting for the review is always a little bit nerve-wracking.
Declared difficulty 38.50, actual 32.75.
So there was one base mark in that hybrid. I think in that one hybrid where she seemed to have a little bit of a pause is likely where there was a bit of a fumble, but she still had a fantastic performance, having an actual difficulty of 32.7 and an overall score of 306.6405.
Veuillez accueillir la concurrente numéro 12. Please welcome competitor number 12 from Team New Brunswick, Ali Steve.
We're seeing a lot of F5As in here, which is the night position joining to a vertical position. We're going to see 2 of these in the first hybrid, so we'll take a look out for those. There she goes, followed up with an A7. Really lovely height there, holding into the thigh area and showing really nice execution. Ending off there with an F2A, the walkout from split all the way up to breath. Really lovely split positions in all of there as well. And some fun transitions here to show the music. Followed with a T8, the flexibility rotation 720. There we had 3 F5s really quickly. Did he catch the ball? And she's very expressive for this fun routine. She's lovely. Into her next hybrid, she's going to do an S4 here, which is one of the bigger spins we've seen so far today. Just 4 spins down. Lovely job. Gonna end off this with another F5A. Really nice. The F5A can be from the night to the vertical position or from the night all the way over through the vertical to the fishtail position, which we saw at that time. Here she has a couple RC1s, which are very great with her lovely flexibility. Then she shows a nice full 360 rotation. Some really nice performance here, matching the music. As the music lifts up and energizes, so does her performance. Here we see a 2R2, which we haven't seen many of today as well, which is a 2-leg rotation for a 720 twist, which is quite challenging. Here she goes for her last hybrid, starting with a T8, the flexibility thrust followed by a 720. By the toes, good job there, getting it all the way in, even if you're at toes, really pushing to finish that off. And a nice finish.
Let's hear it for Ali Steves from Team New Brunswick, coached by Julie McFarland and Ali Murchison-McGuire.
That was a really fun routine. The music was lots of fun, so she had a great time being super expressive with it. There's the slower, quieter parts, and then the loud, energetic parts, and her movements match that very nicely. Here we're seeing her RC1s again, which were definitely a high point of the routine for her, with her very nice split positions, doing the full 360 join all the way up to a nice mid-thigh vertical. There we see another one. It's very well executed for her today.
Julie McFarland and Ali Murchison-McGuire. And what a shot that is. Shows you how much passion these athletes have for the sport and how much these moments mean here at the Canada Summer Games.
So she did achieve, she had one one base mark in that routine, going from the 37.65 to a 31.5 on her actual difficulty. Still achieving a really excellent score, 300.9375. It's a huge achievement to be over 300. And you can see her coach there saying, "I'm so proud of you." A very emotional moment.
It certainly is. Tearing up a little here myself after that. Great job, Ali Steves. So coming next, we have Lily Bernier from Quebec. Lily Bernier, I believe the first Quebec athlete we've seen. What can we expect from Bernier?
She is the first Quebec athlete we've seen today, and Quebec is currently leading the competition, achieving first place in all of the events so far. Lily was second in the technical event, so we will see how she does in her free performance today. You're seeing some really nice execution and height. Lots of arch positions lifting up to the vertical in different variations though. So we saw an F9, an F10, and an F7 in that hybrid, which are all different variants of the knight lift up to vertical. The F7 just has no rotation, the F9 is a 180, and the F10 is a 360. Ending off this hybrid with a F5 very quickly thereafter her rise above knees. At least she was well above that. We see another F9 and another one right after. So on those surface arch positions, her legs can be apart, around hip distance apart is what the tech controllers look for. So you'll see them execute differently. Very expressive athlete. A really nice performance. Movements really following her music and even incorporating some artistic impression into these hybrids as she does some different movements with her feet to express what the music is portraying as well. Really creative transitions here too with some different movements. You see there the different types of arches that she can perform. So she does sometimes with the feet together, sometimes with the feet apart. The variations are all allowed and also really nice to see from the judge's point of view so that they see different movements happening in the hybrids. We see an A8. Trying to stay above knees on all of those movements, even into the end of the routine. It is a very challenging routine for Lily here.
And there it is, Lily Bernier from Quebec. A great ovation, certainly has to be happy with that performance, Evelyn.
Yeah. That is an excellent performance from Lily. Really expressive and really strong in her performance throughout. Her transitions were beautiful. Really following the music and using her facial expressions, all of her movements, all the way from the tips of her fingers to the tips of her toes to express what the music was portraying. And she had a very high difficulty in this event with very challenging movements. Her declared difficulty is a 52.25, which I believe is the second highest declared difficulty in this event, which is very challenging, and she was still able to achieve some lovely artistic impression.
And there you see as Lily exits the pool. Getting a high five, well-deserved from her coaches, Geraldine Hernandez, Salma El Baba. And here are the scores.
So she did an excellent job. She had one base mark, unfortunately. I believe it was likely the last hybrid, as she was still completing the end of her rotations as the music ended, which would result in a base mark as the routine is over. But she still had a fantastic performance, placing her in first place right now with her combined score of 414.7488.
So an excellent performance from Quebec's Lily Bernier. And welcome Chloe Gosselin from Manitoba. A big routine coming up from Chloe Gosselin.
She's going to start off with that F9 that we've been seeing quite a bit. Here she goes. The surface arch rotation up to the vertical position, very well executed. We're seeing here a hold for 3 seconds for the airborne weight, and followed up with an SC4, which is a very challenging combined spin. 4 spins on the way down and 4 spins on the way up. Excellent job from Chloe, really lovely. And here she goes for the T9B, one of the most challenging thrusts, the T9, all the way up to waist, and then catching above the knees for at least 1 second. There she does this, followed up with an SC3 combined spin of 3 rotations. In there was the RD2 as well, which should be a 720 in each direction. So that one the tech controllers might go back and look at. Here she has another SC4, very challenging. She seems to be very strong in her spins though. Very nicely executed. In this next hybrid, we're gonna see the A8, the highest difficulty airborne weight hold. The unbalanced for 3 seconds or more. Nicely executed. Ending there with the F2A walkout from splits all the way to breath. In this next hybrid, she has another SC4. Very challenging again, but her spins are very strong. So there she did 4 down, and here she goes for her 4 up. In the spins, the tech controllers will be watching that she's changing height levels. So when she's starting at above knees, that she ends at ankles, and then doing the same thing on the way up to see the obvious change in height level in the routine. Ending off there with another F2A and some really nice expressive arms to finish her routine.
So a nice job from Chloe Gosselin of Manitoba. Let's take another look at that performance.
It was a really expressive start to her routine with her arms. And you see a couple more transitions here, really using her hands to express the music. And in this routine, we saw lots of rotations. So she had an SC4, she had 3 SC4s and 1 SC3, which are very challenging spins. And she performed those excellently. They seem to be a great strength of hers. I do believe the tech controllers will be looking quickly at hybrid 2, just on that RD2, as she just performed. We saw on the playback there, 360 one direction and 360 the other direction. But the tech controllers would be looking for 360 to be fully completed. So there was 1 base mark in that routine, having her actual difficulty at a 24.0 and a final score, a combined score of 289.1246, which is an excellent job from Chloe.
So Chloe Gosselin of Manitoba, she'll finish off with her scores from the judges, and that brings in Mia Francham from Team Newfoundland and Labrador, the home province team. And a great ovation here at the Aquarena, the Works in St. John's.
We're seeing lots of family and friends up in the stands with flags ready to cheer her on. She's starting off there with the T6C, which is the flying fish or helicopter 360, making sure that gets all the way around. Is what the tech controllers will be looking for on all of those rotations. Here we go, ending with the F2A. The lovely split position she just demonstrated, very close to flat, all the way to the breath at the end. She has a couple ROs in this routine, which we haven't seen too many of. So the RO1 or ROB that she has in here will be starting in a vertical position and then ending in a split position. Some beautiful arms to go along with the beautiful music that they've chosen for this routine. There we saw one of those ROs, that was an ROB, so just a 180 rotation as she opened to the split. Now she's performing the RU3, which is a very challenging, unbalanced rotation. Here she enters her next hybrid with a T4E. So it's really important on those thrusts with the twirl of a 180 to ensure that the hips start on the one wall and turn all the way to the other wall, and that's what the tech controllers will be looking for. Ending again with another ROB with the F2A at the end there, showcasing her really nice flexibility. And some beautiful transitions here with the nice ballet-like positions. Here we see another unbalanced rotation. Really want to make sure that it's getting all the way around and maintaining that unbalanced positioning throughout. She ended off that hybrid with the T5D, which is very similar to what she started her routine with, the flying fish or helicopter 180 this time though. Here she is on her last hybrid. She's going to finish off with a S2, a 720 spin down before toes. Very nicely jobbed. And a beautiful arm to finish off the routine.
Wonderful ovation for Mia Frencham from right here in Newfoundland and Labrador. Here's another look at the performance from Mia.
Very nice height throughout this first hybrid for Mia that we're seeing again. And there, like I was talking about, the ROs, the ROBs, and the RO1s that she performed in that routine were really well done as she executed very lovely split positions, showing a nice flat split. Here we see her final spin down, just caught there at the end. Now she's out, ready for her score.
And with her coaches, Taylor French and Shannon Driscoll, waiting for those judges' scores to come in. Certainly a look of excitement on her face right now.
Yeah, she looks super happy. They should be very happy with that performance. I do believe the tech controllers are taking a look at a couple things right now. They might be looking back at that T4E that I mentioned before. That is a very challenging thrust to execute, as you have to perform the entire 180 twirl after doing your thrust. So you thrust up facing one direction, do an entire 180 twirl, and then crash down onto the surface, which is very challenging to execute. So great for her for attempting that one and really trying to push her difficulty in this routine.
Still waiting for the judges' scores to come in. You talk about a big performance. One of the biggest stages in the country, the Canada Summer Games in your hometown. That's got to be exciting for Mia Frencham.
Yeah, they all seem super excited. Everybody from Newfoundland has been very happy to be here and super excited, and the crowd has been very excited for their athletes. We can see even just from here, lots of people in the stands, tons of flags supporting her and really cheering her on to have the best performance possible and the best time possible at this Games.
You talk about creating memories, certainly this being one she'll remember forever in front of the home crowd, and here we go.
So it looks like there was at least 2 base marks in that routine, having an actual difficulty of 13.05 and achieving a final score, a combined score with her technical and her free routines combined of 211.1175.
That was Mia Frencham of Newfoundland and Labrador. Coming up next, entering the pool area, Andrea Escobar of Quebec. big performance earlier on from Quebec. What can we expect here from Escobar?
This should be a fantastic performance. Andrea is currently holding the first place position from the technical event, so she'll be looking to hold on to that placing in the free event as well. She has the highest declared difficulty in this event with a 53.35, so we'll see lots of challenging movements. Here she goes with the highest difficulty thrust with an excellent catch well above knees. Andrea is very excellent at her unbalanced rotations, so we will see a number of those in this routine. Here she goes, another T9B. Very challenging to do once, even more challenging to do twice, especially in the same hybrid with no breath in between. In this hybrid, we will see an RU7, which is 7 unbalanced rotations. Take a look. Very well done. Here we're seeing a combined spin, 2 spins down, 2 spins up, and ending with a couple night movements very quick into her transition so that she has some time to breathe and perform before she goes under for this next hybrid. There we see the F9 into an A8, holding unbalanced for 3 seconds. She's really maintaining good height throughout so far, still seeing lots of mid-thigh positions in these hybrids as she's coming up into her 4th hybrid here. You're gonna see a T8 now, the flexibility followed by 2 spins and a spin up. Another A8 here holding, ending with a couple more nights and a final RC1. Some good performance here and creativity in the transitions for her artistic impression score. We see another T8, the thrust flexibility followed by 2 spins before toes. Really well done. And she's going to do a couple more nights here at the end to end off. Yeah, very quickly and very well done. It's important to keep trying to maintain her height as she comes into the end here. There we go, very nice height on that A8, followed up by another one right away. I'm just gonna end off with a couple more nights. Very clear on her rotations, this excellent ending.
And a look of satisfaction from Escobar as she finishes. And a great cheer from the crowd, a wonderful routine. Take us through it, Evelyn.
So she started off with great expression on her walk-on, which is really a great opportunity for the athletes to invite the judges into what they're going to be performing and show them a little bit of a preview of what the theme is going to be. So the athletes get 20 seconds to do that at the very beginning. It's really important to take that opportunity. And here we're seeing a lot of her night positioning and vertical positioning. She maintains an excellent height of around above knees to mid-thigh. Really fantastic performance today.
A wonderful job as she discusses things over with her coaches, Geraldine Narvez and Sama Elbaba. The scores come in.
A fantastic job achieving her massive difficulty of 53.35, landing her in the first place position for now with the final overall score of her combined technical and free routine events to a 431.8658, a massive score for Quebec.
What a wonderful performance by Andrea Escobar. In the top spot right now, and here comes Ella Story of Prince Edward Island.
We're ready to see a very performative routine. Ella's a beautiful swimmer. Her technical routine had lots of fantastic performance and facial expressions. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her free performance as well. Starting off with an A7 with really fantastic height. And good on the night positions. It's really important to make sure they're all the way above knees. And ending here with a T8, the thrust with flexibility, followed by a 720 spin. Excellent job. Good on those night positions, really showing clearly above knees that time. That was excellent. And here we see our combined spin. So she did 3 on the way down and 3 on the way back up. A really nice song choice for her expression as well. Here you see the F7, the surface arch lift up to vertical. Really nicely executed. Followed by another T8. Good. Did a little bit extra on that one, you might have noticed as well, more than a 720, which you're allowed to do. That's totally fine. The tech controllers will not take an extra look at that. We're seeing a couple F8As, which are very challenging. They're the hardest night rotations you can do, being a night followed by a 360 join to vertical. So she goes with an A7 to start off this hybrid. Really want to keep pushing for height into the end of the routine. It's a very challenging routine. We saw an S2 there for her spin down, followed by another T8, just coming a little bit off of the vertical line that time. It's really important to make sure you're spinning on the vertical to show good execution for the judges. And here she goes into her last hybrid. A couple RC1s and an S3 to finish. That one also sounded like she might have been slightly after the end of the music, which we did see before with one of the prior routines, so that might be something the tech controllers take another look at.
And speaking of taking another look, here's another look at Ella Story and her routine from Prince Edward Island.
It was a very beautiful performance, really nice expression. She's a lovely expression swimmer with really good faces that really draw you into the story and routine that she's performing. Just saw a lovely spin up from her as well with great speed and coming up to a nice height. We saw lots of T8s in this routine as well, and she showed really good flexibility pushing for that flat split position.
Declared difficulty 36.15, actual 32.40.
So just one base mark there for Ella, which would probably be that last hybrid due to being off the music a little bit at the end. But they look super happy with that, as they should be, achieving an overall combined score of 299.8796, very close to the 300. So a great thing for her to aim for finals.
So a nice performance from Ella Story. And now we welcome in from Team Alberta, Jasmine Pellegrin. A big routine coming up from Jasmine.
Jasmine also has one of the highest declared difficulties in this event with a 51 declared, and this is a snake theme routine. So let's see if we can see that theme throughout her performance. Starting off with the T9B, very well executed, a very challenging thrust. She was super high and caught very well above her kneecaps. Here we're gonna see an A8, showing some really nice creativity with the leg movements as well for her artistic impression. Some nice arms there as well to continue to portray that snake theme. There we see another T9B and an RU2 to follow that up. We see a couple more arm movements to keep carrying and a leg movement. That was lovely. The artistic impression judges will certainly like that. We see another A8. A very challenging unbalanced hold for 3 seconds or more, followed by a spin down, a combined spin, 3 on the way down and 3 on the way up. In this next hybrid, we're going to see an unbalanced rotation, 2 spins. Very well done. Ending off with the A8, followed by an F10, the highest difficulty flexibility. Really important to have your hips all the way around on the end of all of the rotations. She's such a performative swimmer. The performance is really coming through, which is super important in the free solo program especially. We see another F10, very well executed as she goes into this next A8 and ending off with an F9. She's about to enter her last hybrid, still full of energy with a great smile on her face. We're going to see another F10, very well done. And a couple more rotations to finish off with an A8 here. A very nice hold.
And a wonderful performance from Jasmine Peliquin of Alberta. A great ovation for her here at the Works Aquarena. And let's take another look through this performance.
We saw a really expressive performance from Jasmine today. She had really great changes in her facial expressions, which will really achieve a high performance mark from the artistic impression judges. You can see here her arms also really carried across her theme of the snake, and we could see that even in her hybrids, which is super important from the judges to see creativity not just in the transitions, but also in the hybrids.
So as Jasmine exits the pool, certainly has to be excited about that performance. She'll meet her coaches, Brooke Whitney and Kayla Riesling, to get the scores.
Marks for competitor number 18, declared an actual difficulty, 51.
Excellent job achieving her full difficulty of a 51, placing her in 3rd place now, just behind the 2 Quebec solos, with an overall score of her combined technical and free solos of 411.4005. A great place to be in going into the finals.
So our final competitor here in the solo free preliminaries, artistic swimming, Nova Scotia, and Alice McDonald. She makes her way out. A big routine coming up for McDonald.
We're going to see her start out with the F9, which we've seen from a lot of the competitors today. The surface arch lift up to vertical with a 180 rotation. Here she goes. Very nice. Followed by an A8 now. Good, holding off of the vertical line, so it must be unbalanced. Around 15 to 30 degrees is what the tech controllers are looking for. But as long as it's noticeably unbalanced, that's great. Really nicely executed on that first hybrid. She goes into her next hybrid. She's going to start with a night position, then a 180 rotation joined to vertical. Very well done. Has a couple F8As in this hybrid as well as in the rest of the routine. So be sure to keep a lookout for those. It's her night position and then followed by a 360 rotation as we just saw there as you join to vertical. Excellent job from Alice in those rotations. Here we see a T8 thrust with flexibility followed by a 720 spin. Lovely job on that. Here we see a couple more F8s, ending with an F2A to finish off the hybrid. Some nice different movements in her transitions as well, using different parts of her body, using her legs, using her arms to perform. Here we see a couple more F8s and now into the A7 and another F8 to end off the hybrid. Very nice. We're going to start off this next hybrid with an A5, a 360 rotation up to vertical from the pike. Very well done with really nice speed as well, which was lovely on that change of music. Saw a couple more F8s in there, which were really nicely done. She gets ready for her last hybrid. great performance going into it. Starting off with that F9 again. Really well done. We're going to see another A7 now. Really showing excellent height even at the end of her routine, which is very impressive. This was a very challenging routine. Excellent job.
So a wonderful performance from Alison McDonald of Nova Scotia as she will make her way out of the pool. And let's take another look at this great performance.
That was a beautiful performance from Alice, really lovely. Saw lots of F8As, which is the most challenging night rotation you can achieve on the difficulty chart. And she executed them very well, showing a really nice night position and a full 360 rotation as she joined up to her vertical. We also saw there her T8, really nicely done with the flexibility, and the 720 spin to end. Saw some really good height into the end of this routine as well, achieving nice above knees, even into mid-thigh, and really good performance even at the end when she's probably feeling a little tired. She's not showing it at all at the end of her routine, which is exactly what the judges are looking for.
And there you see her with her coaches right now, Allie Merrill and Eliza McDonald. Looks of anticipation as the official judges' scores about to make their way in.
You can see in the back there on that last shot as well, some of her teammates dancing and supporting her. It's really nice to see all of the teams coming together and cheering on their friends and supporting them even on this challenging day with the free solos, one of the hardest solo events to compete in, because there's so much difficulty in these routines, and their teammates are here standing by them, helping them push through into the very end, which we really saw with Alice. She executed very nicely and performed very nicely through to the end. We have her marks. Had a couple base marks in this routine, with her actual difficulty being a 24.65. Still achieving a really great score of her combined score of 263.9008, with a couple things that they can look back on and help perfect for the finals.
There you have it. Alice McDonald, our final participant here in this very exciting solo free preliminaries. An outstanding afternoon here at the Works Aquarena. Wonderful performances as we take another look at the updated leaderboard.
The event is now concluded.
You see, and first and second, Quebec are holding the top two spots. Again, followed by Alberta in third position right now. We'll see how those spots hold as they have their finals on Friday.
So there you have it, a wonderful afternoon. A big thank you, Evelyn Young, for stepping in. A great job this afternoon. It was a pleasure to spend the afternoon with you. And at 4 o'clock, Newfoundland and Labrador time, more artistic swimming coming your way. We will have the coverage. Luke Much will be joined by Evelyn once again for another great afternoon. So from the Works Aquarena, I'm Robbie Doherty for Evelyn Young. So long from St. John's.
This is a place where imaginations can run wild. Maybe it's time to come set yours free.
Atlantic Lottery is proud to sponsor important community initiatives like this year's Canada Games.
I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. time. I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. Now or never, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time.
Atlantic Lottery is proud to sponsor important community initiatives like this year's Canada Games.